Just a moment, please. We Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, both sides of the story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. And taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. And we are going to be joined in a moment by one of our most prolific Jamaican performers, and we want to get an update on his stewardship, because he has and continues to stand tall in terms of his position in the on the Jamaican music landscape. All right, so let's cut the chase and say greetings and welcome. Roy Ryan, how are you?
I am mighty fine talking to a wonderful human being.
Oh, you're very kind.
Everywhere I remember once performing to a school in New York when Liverpool stars were in front of me.
Well. I'm not stalking. So how have you been? It's been a while since we have spoken.
Yes, in a minute, but I listen where I can.
Mhm.
Yes, well, it's not bad, and well, we all have stuff we have all survived. Not all survived. We just survived because we have to do some of us will have to pick up some papers and do more than papers and things, but we're going, and we are most importantly giving thanks and praises because we are still alive.
Speaking of giving thanks and praises, I saw a flyer, and it shows us Roy Ryan live in concert with friends, 6545.
And I am going to put you at the front of the class and tell the world and explain to the rest of the world what that is.
I would imagine perhaps 65 years on one platform or in one sphere, and 45 years in another. With
Front of the class.
Well, we still want to spread it, so let's tell the broader.
45 years in entertainment.
Mhm. Yes, and it looks like you don't have any shortage of friends at all.
Well, if if I should use all the friends, then it will be more than top five. It will be more than Jim Myers. It will be more than Nazarman. It will be more than Pessoa. It will be more than Dean Fraser. It will be more than Amina Blackwood Leaks.
Unending.
But I'll tell you,
Yes.
that Amina Blackwood Leaks, she's been in my life for a long, long time. Do you remember a place called API?
That's the former government news agency.
Agency for Public Information,
Mhm.
right? And so it was then API, and I went there. I read a poem. Even though I didn't music, I'm interested in read a poem at a road. She liked the poem. And she said, have you ever tried to drama school? And it's something that I went around there once and she said, okay, I'm going to send it to somebody. And she sent it to some crush, and I got into youth later. And the rest is history. As a matter of fact, the show will be held this Sunday it's actually where I did my first play,
Mhm.
Goody, in 1978. Yeah,
What?
I
How
did my
how did that come about?
well while I was at the youth theater, they
Mhm.
Natalie Thomas and Bob Carr, they had a children's theater trust, for youth, it was basically the youth for the youth theater. So they took a lot of people from Jamaica School of Drama, and
Mhm.
and others, I was a youth theater person. They said go up and go and audition, and Natalie asked me to read something for her. And said, yes, man, you're good enough. And I got one of the junior leagues. I was Mikey at one stage. She used to call me Mikey.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you've sounds like you've been around the block a few times.
Um, you know, and so.
Mhm. So what can our listeners and viewers and the public in general expect from 6545 staged by Stage Records?
Okay, well, you actually took me out of rehearsal. But this is so important. People are here, people they are going to hear the regular Roy and songs, but they are going to hear some songs that they probably heard one now and then, or they're going to hear some songs that they never heard before, and they must say, well, I'm Roy and sing them songs. I remember once the lady who woke up and said, hey, Roy, I used to go dance all of this one and this and so you're going to just get you're going to get the total repertoire, and
I thought you were going to say, get the full story.
well,
After all, this is both sides of the story.
right, yes, yes, definitely, definitely. Yeah.
Yes.
So therefore, you get in control, you get in a nice. So many things to do here because like one of the songs I'm going to do is the first, not is the first video. It was the first video that's top five, not not top five was in the video, not Jeremiah. The first top video that top five produced was a video that of one of my songs, but that will be a secret until they get there, right?
Okay.
The first song that I released in 19, that was in 1979, a song called I Know. So there will be a lot of firsts, and a lot of awesome things will be happening. It won't be a normal performance. And when you see the bill, it's going to be awesome. So we actually start at 5, meet and greet,
That's Sunday the 14th of July.
right, right. And there, we have, it, the people just come and see the show. It's going to be an awesome show.
Mhm. And meet and greet at 5, showtime at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. on the dot.
Mhm. And are you going it alone or you have support from sponsors?
Well, yes, we have Jamaica Electrical Technology. We have CMSS.
Mhm.
We have look here. Don't get into trouble.
A whole lot of
Right.
support.
We have a whole lot of support here. We have GGA Designs. They are going to be making certain that I look even more handsome than I am. Yes, and JCBC,
Mhm.
they give us a lot of support as well, So we thank all those people who put their heads out there,
Mhm.
really appreciate.
And it's also good that part proceeds are in aid of the Jamaica Music Museum acquisition of musical artifacts.
Um, um, Posterity, very very important. If we're talking about we can't just talk about legacy. We have to live it. We have to make certain that whatever way we can contribute. And there might be a piece of instrument, there might be something that needs to be, trying to refurbish something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's important to give back when you can in whatever way, and
Mm-hmm.
this is one way also of doing that. So
Yes.
it's celebrating 65, 45, and it's also celebrating. Because remember also the Institute doesn't make it actually 145 years this year,
Mm-hmm.
62, so a whole lot of celebration.
Yes. Well, sounds like the celebrations have started.
Yes, that's one of my songs, just to dawn curfew, top
Mm-hmm.
five is, there I'm getting to do. So when I get over here, I go right back into the rehearsal.
Mm-hmm. And is there any? I don't want you to give away too much, but will there be instances of collaboration between artists?
Um, I just leave it for it. It might just happen.
Yes.
Things like some wonderful things that went wrong.
Okay.
You know,
And the admission?
only 5,000 of them.
Mhm. Yeah. And looks like your patrons will be getting more than they bargained for. Fab Five, Roy Ryan, Jem Myers, Nazelman, Everton Pessoa, Amina Blackwood Meeks, and Elaine Wint doing emceeing duties. Not
Yes,
to me. Yes.
so your doctor me and she's going to between my biography, So
Mhm.
she she's I tell people, that if she didn't see me, probably I would have gone back in the country and I probably would have been a great farmer, a doctor, or something. So if I am rich, it is her fault, and if I'm poor, it's her fault. She should have left and what she did. I keep on reminding her that the awesome job she did.
Mm-hmm.
Just by and that's so important. So for you to see something and say, look here, this thing can grow, we can nurture it,
Yes.
and she did, and I appreciate it.
And is this likely to be a one-off stint or
No,
the
no,
start of
I
of something bigger?
I am. It's my intention to let this thing as I said, blossom. See Everton Festival is just passing. It's just passing by.
Mhm.
It's going to as well.
Mhm. So the work has
Um,
started. Mhm. All right. We need to take a break. Let's take the break and come back.
okay.
You're listening to Pearl 106 FM. The time is now 2:45. Tune in every Thursday at 3:30 p.m. for Your Legal Corner with David Walker Huntington, during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm on Power 106 FM. It's your source of information regarding U.S. immigration matters, combined with Power 106 FM's pioneer of diaspora broadcasting. Call in with your U.S. immigration queries and concerns on 876-922-411225, or send a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598 and get the answers you need for your U.S. immigration questions. That's Your Legal Corner with David Walker Huntington, Thursdays at 3:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm, only on Power 106 FM.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Cherry Henry says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and listeners. I can't enjoy the program, not getting Power 106 long before the storm. I am so sorry, she says. All right, let's see if we can forward this message. Uh, all right, at at the most convenient time, we'll forward that message to the team in engineering, and no doubt they'll be more than happy to try and resolve that situation. Cherry Henry, thanks for bringing it to our attention. All the best. And is Roy Ryan still on the line?
Yes,
Ah,
right here.
right, there you are. All right, so who would you credit for where you have arrived, where you have reached at this stage in your life?
You know, it's a whole lot of persons, but okay, for instance, I just think, that, so, well, first one, Mr. And Vince, because they came,
Mhm.
Vince and Fisher Whittingham and Daphne Joy Scott, they were very, very important. And you know who those two people are, right?
Help us, help the younger ones.
That's the father. you know. And
Yes.
so after that, but yes, coming into Kingston, and so when I met, that was also a turning point. I met some there's a good person, Dr. Agri Irons. He made some contribution. At one place, he was giving his life while I was in the youth theater. There are so many persons I'm talking about those basic things. And then I come and I met Kathy Marsh, and Kathy Marsh introduced me to Unit Vision, and then that time there was a place called Courtney Manor across from the atrium is on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
That is where the Courtney Manor there was, and so from there, and then I met outside, and that synergy built, and they, showed them. But no. Before that, my first song was that I recorded while I was still at youth theater drama school. I was a young lady. I told her wanted to get to music. Josephine Brown. She produced my first song, the first that I released. I know a Channel One, and so there are so many persons of touch. It was Irving Knight, Color Knight from Charlie who are in that song. And then I have to go back now where just so to put the but if you talk about the body of work now, Fab Five and Grub Cooper, they've done a whole lot in it. With the festival songs, some of the albums, and even some of the albums that was produced out of is Rob would have arranged some of the songs and all of that. So they, you would say, would be the main, you know, um, persons who were, would have been at the height of my career.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many persons. I want to again thank JC because they gave me an avenue, I capitalized, and it worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
So they are, it's always relevant for person. But those are some of the things that I won't ever forget.
All right, well, let's run the information by our audience once again. This is happening on Sunday, the 14th of July. It's Stage Records and the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, JCDC, presenting Roy Rayan live in concert with friends, 6545. And you'll have to be there to figure out what we're talking about, 6545. Uh, Live in concert. Part proceeds in aid of the Jamaica Music Museum acquisition of musical artifacts. Contribution 5,000 Jamaican dollars. Tickets are available at Fab 5 headquarters, 11 Springvale Avenue, Kingston 10, as well as Music Mart, South Avenue, Kingston 10, featuring the likes of Fab 5, Roy Ryan, Jem Myers, Nazelman, Everton Pessoa, Amina Blackwood Meeks, and Elaine Wint Smith. Special guest, Dean Fraser. And there's a meet and greet session at 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday, July 14. and showtime is 6 o'clock in the evening. Did we cover all the bases, Mr. Rayan?
Yes, I think and I told you, you made certain that you're at the head of the class and at the front, and that is where you will stay.
You're very kind. We don't want to take up too much of your studio time.
And again, I appreciate this and continue doing your great work, and I am expecting that for this another 2,000 people will turn up.
Well, we have no doubt the support will be there.
Yes, yes. It's gonna be an awesome thing.
Hmm.
It's gonna be an awesome thing.
Yes.
And yes, I won't, I can't too much out of the bag, but 65, 45, well, it can also be 66, 46, so,
Mhm.
it will continue.
Oh.
This year, it is something that I really want to do. Because the first time I did it, I was actually same place that Louis Bennett it was actually his third,
Okay.
you know.
Mhm. I see. All right. Well, all the performers we're looking at on the flyer right now seem ready to go.
Yes, and as I say, while
Hmm.
I was talking to Pesco just came in after he's in there first,
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are going to as the Jamaican parlance. We're going to tear down the place. We're going to leave the building standing, but we're going to tear down the place. We won't get kind of like the hurricane. We're going to just tear down the place and leave the building standing.
Mm. Thank you very much, Roy Ryan. It's good to have you on board both sides of the story to tell us all about 6545 Stage Records presenting Roy Ryan live in concert with friends. And it's happening on Sunday, the 14th of July at the Ranny Williams Entertainment Center. And we wish them all the very best for a successful event.
And I thank you and continue doing the great work you're doing, sir.
We try.
No, you do. At this stage of your life, you don't say anymore. You do.
Oh, you're very kind. Thank you very much. Enjoy the session.
Yes, and give thanks and praises.
Yeah, that would be an appropriate one, eh?
Yes,
Yes.
uh,
A lot to be thankful for.
very, very appropriate.
Yes.
We're going to have a real party at the end of it. We're going to have a blast.
Hmm. I have no doubt. All right. Thanks. Thanks.
So,
Thanks. Mhm.
and thanks for having me.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Blessings.
Oh, bless you too. Take care. Roy Ryan speaking with us on this afternoon's edition of Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM, uh, teaming up with Stage Records and the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, JCDC, to host Roy Ryan live in concert with friends, 6545. And that's on Sunday, the 14th of July at the Ranny Williams Entertainment Center. They'll start with a meet and greet session at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And then come 6 p.m., it's showtime. Contribution $5,000 Jamaican dollars. Part proceeds in aid of the Jamaica Music Museum acquisition of musical artifacts. And featuring the likes of Fab Five, Roy Ryan, who you heard a short while ago, Jem Myers, Nazelman, Everton Pessoa, and Amina Blackwood Meeks, also doing emceeing duties, Elaine Wint, and special guest saxophonist extraordinaire, Dean Fraser. So if you haven't booked a date to be at this event, well, there's an opportunity to get into that groove, literally and figuratively speaking, and enjoy the happenings. It's that time of year as well, isn't it? We're getting a little closer to that time of year. In the meantime, we want to clear some more messages here on both sides of the story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. And as usual, more questions than answers. Let's see what we have here. Raskava says Eric Donaldson is Mr. Festival. Yes, it hit me after I said it actually, with a view to getting back to it, but didn't get back to it. Yes, Eric Donaldson is described as Mr. Festival. And it's just no, says Raskava. And let's see, Cuban in Georgia says, where does he start now? Good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. Why did the government sign an agreement in which if we only, I think I read this one already. Yeah, we read that one already. So we're moving on. Sir Malcolm, the illicit 8, now 2 more have been added to the list. Sir Malcolm, we must have a third party in Jamaica or the Marcus Garvey party, because these 2 parties have failed the Jamaican people for 62 years, conducting elections, conducting activities with the courts, collecting taxes, and so on and so forth. We're calling on the people of Jamaica to mobilize themselves towards the Marcus Garvey PPP if we want to start a new chapter in history. The current political, judicial, and the head of state have sat and watched the destruction of the island and have done nothing to stop it. We have to move away from the parties, says Cuban in Georgia. There's more after the break.
Contractors, developers, and small builders. Contact Coast to Coast Group of Companies for high quality concrete products. The time by Coast to Coast Group of Companies is 3 o'clock.
Click and collect. No, no. With sending from foreign to yard. Sign up today. From abroad, you can manage clearance and pay online. Your loved one just has collect. Easy. Sign up. You click quickly. You collect. Sign up. You click quickly. You collect. For more information, WhatsApp 876-577-8905. Take life the way it is. Horizon in the distance, so close, and yet so far away. You should be surprised when on arrival a dream has flown away.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Let's see who else is messaging us. We have to seek new partnerships and join the Alliance of Africa to teach the imperialists and neoliberalists that we're not slaves anymore. Why do our politicians give back half of their paychecks to go towards hurricane relief instead of being a blind man on his knees begging for mercy from the colonial masters for financial relief and assistance? Cuban in Georgia. Good afternoon to Rohan Johnson of Atlas Ocho Rios, saying it's little Talia Johnson and Rohan Johnson from Atlas Ocho Rios endorsing your program to the world. Have yourself a God blessed afternoon. Thank you very much, Talia Johnson and Rohan Johnson. Miss Hermin, otherwise known as June in Oslo, Norway, is tuned in. She says, good evening, listening as always. Learning a lot, she says. We're happy to hear that. Franklin MacDonald says several persons have pointed. No, it doesn't start there. Where does this message start? Your corner. Your corner from New York is once again proving his expertise at making distracting noises from his car location, possibly inside of a vehicle with a strong air conditioning unit and other large vehicles reversing nearby. Let him know that the public account is coming to discuss the matter of risk insurance and where the details by the Ministry of Finance. He may wish to, something is missing here. He may wish to some of this from the Jamaican media and the reports of the Public Accounts Committee. He needs to use some more. Thank you for reading the article on the catastrophic insurance arrangements yesterday. I believe that reading has contributed significantly to open up the public discussion because the main three impressions of Jamaica were not repeated, not carrying it in enough detail. You did a great job. You're very kind. Several people have pointed out to me that the Office of Jamaica and the Office of Disaster Preparedness in their hurricane education program at pains to point out that the eye of the hurricane is not the whole hurricane. People are saying the Minister of Finance did not listen to that. I'm not sure I just fair comment since I'm not in Jamaica at the moment, but it deserves discussion. Who advises the Ministry of Finance in this matter? Did they call an actor or meteorologist? The other question being raised is why doesn't insurance kick in once the eye of the hurricane passes into the territory of Jamaica? Not the land, but the sea space, which we also own, says Franklin MacDonald. Thank you for sharing, Mr. MacDonald. Michael from Belle Plaine in Clarendon says, good afternoon, teacher, to you and your listeners. I hope all is well with you and family. Hope all was well during the hurricane. Keep educating the nation. God bless you. Thank you very much, Michael in Belle Plaine, Clarendon. Thank you for your messages, and keep those messages coming in on 876 922 4112 to 5. 876 922 4112 to 5. And the text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876 365 334-6876, 365-3346. And still taking your calls. Let's see, there's a caller who rang us earlier on and went to a break, or we had to break for that interview with Roy Rayan. Let's see if we can reconnect. This one from Jay Brown, this message, it's filtering and trying to open the document. It's proving to be a little tedious. Information and Complaints Division. Being circulated. Right, so the caller, Voice of New York, feel free to reconnect with us. In the meantime, the listener is sharing the public document, that insofar as a significant portion of it is made public from the Office of the Integrity Commissioner. Let's see if we can share with you a bit of this. It says, Integrity Commission corrects media stories on the subject of parliamentarians referred for illicit enrichment. July 10, 2024, the Integrity Commission wishes to correct inaccuracies that have been reported in the media regarding parliamentarians who have been referred for illicit enrichment. In its sixth annual report for 2023-2024, which was tabled in the Parliament yesterday, the Commission's Information and Complaints Division, under the heading Referrals on page 32 of the report, revealed that 2 parliamentarians were referred for illicit enrichment. The Commission wishes to emphasize that the referrals stated were made during the 2023-24 reporting year. They have absolutely no bearing whatsoever on any referrals that were made in the previous 2022 to 2023 reporting year, when 6 parliamentarians were referred for illicit enrichment. When the 2 reporting periods are taken together, this therefore means that an aggregate of 8 parliamentarians have been referred to the Commission's Investigation Division for illicit enrichment over the period April 2022 to March 2024. The Integrity Commission has made no comment on the status of any investigation that may be related to any specific illicit enrichment referral. It has no power in law to do so. Media reports which have concluded that the illicit 6 is now down to 2, Jamaica Gleaner, July 10, 2024, or that only 2 parliamentarians are now under investigation for illicit enrichment, Nationwide 90 FM, July 9, 2024, are therefore patently inaccurate, misguided, and without any foundation whatsoever in fact or in law. And those of us who seek further information can contact Disney Johnson, DISNI Johnson, Communications Department, Integrity Commission. And that's the story. The immediate release that was published by the Integrity Commission. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Still taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. And let's see who else is messaging us here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. And let's see, who is this now? We're going to another message, or do we go to another call? Let's see if we take another call. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hey, teacher, Uncle Dervan Malcolm. How you doing, my brother?
I am doing well. Thank you very much.
I'm good so far. Teacher, I have a problem, teacher. The light gone in my community since last week, Wednesday, and it still doesn't come back.
The situation, I'm sure you are aware.
Because the Hurricane Beryl was in Jamaica. I am aware of that,
Mhm.
teacher. But teacher, I do everything in my power on Sunday. I'm trying to be in touch with the people. Nobody answers. Teacher, I just don't know what to do. I have no idea. Everything I try, I fail.
No, there's no failure in that. Stick closely to your family members, friends, colleagues, neighbors,
Yeah,
and you won't have to worry too much about those matters because you'll be so involved with your family
yeah. That
that
is true.
uh,
But everyone in this area, they are experiencing the same thing. They are having the same problem.
yes, it's just one of those realities that we have to overcome
Mm-hmm.
as we try to get as close to normal as possible.
Yes, yes. Hopefully it will be back later, or maybe this weekend. I
Well,
don't know.
well, you can call us and tell us when it comes back.
Yeah, I will. How you doing, teacher?
I'm
How you?
fine, thanks.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for the call as usual. All the best.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 3:50.
Feeling stuck in endless paperwork to secure a small business loan from a bank? Access Financial Services can unlock your growth with an SME loan. Borrow up to $20 million with easy requirements and fast approvals. Whether you are ready to boost productive capacity, get working capital, or acquire real estate, say goodbye to the hassle and hello to growth. Grow your business with an SME loan up to $20 million from Access Financial Services. Call 876-929-9253 or visit accessfinanceonline.com. Conditions apply.
How much do you know about spices and the impact they have on your everyday life? Join us every first and third Thursday during Farm Talk with Althea McKenzie at 6:18 a.m. for Spice of Jamaica. We'll give you tips, tidbits, and interviews about the revitalization and sustainability of the Jamaican spices, including ginger, turmeric, and pimento. That's Spice of Jamaica every first and third Thursday at 6:18 a.m. during Farm Talk with Althea McKenzie, right here on Power 106 FM. Spice of Jamaica is brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture Food for Progress Jamaica Spices Project. Dream has flown away, and fear's not here to stay.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 3346. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Are you there? I suspect we have lost that one. Sorry about that. No? Sorry about that. Let's move on. 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Did we read this one already? I think we did. Let's go down the line. Still, oh, there's a fundraiser in the making. Peter Gracie, Jamaica's motivational poet and Global Jamaica Diaspora Council Rep, Southern USA, the Jamaica Fire Brigade Area 4, Chaplaincy Department, Lorraine J. Smith, target of $1 million donation target under the heading Hurricane Beryl Relief, Restoring Hope, Rebuilding Futures, Back to School, and Health Fair. And this will feature Jamaica's gospel superstar Jermaine Edwards, Adriana Clark, Women's Medical Center, free back to school supplies, free medical checkups for students, free mental health sessions, refreshments available. And this is scheduled for Friday, the 9th of August at the Black River Fire Station from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Restoring Jamaica, one child at a time is the message. And Shelley-Ann Lewis of Diaspora Connect is a part of that experience as well. Info at thisisjamaica.org for Zelle. This is Jamaica is a Florida 501c3 entity. So we trust it will all work out and that the funds will be raised and those in need are in fact dealt with. So we look forward to that and a follow-up as to how that would have gone. And this one says, okay, let's go to another. Sandra K. Gibson, good afternoon to you. And she's reminding us that Marvelly Infant and Primary School Jamaica needs our help. Please donate one or more sleeping pads for our toddlers and 65 pairs of shoes ready to go. Thanks for all your support. Marvelly Infant and Primary 2024 School Shoes Drive. This is back to school in July and it goes on. So because of the nature of our relationship and collaboration with different individuals, institutions, and organizations, we find ourselves in a position where we have to help in marshaling the individuals and just making sure that the resources clear not just customs but other departments, agencies, etc. So well done as well, Sandra K. Gibson, and we'll talk with you closer to the time for your handing over of those. What did I say? 65. How many pairs of shoes? Where did it go? But we we're always happy to play our part. In the meantime, we continue and congratulate Sandra K. Gibson in her support for Marvelly Infant and Primary School and the needs, ensuring that those needs are met. In the meantime, let's take some calls. 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. And the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Let's see who else is messaging us here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. And let's see what we have here. Neville, otherwise known as Salah, says Dervan, voice of New York, needs to back off a little bit. Yesterday he was on talking about how to cast concrete when doing slab roofing, which wasn't making much sense. Today again he is on talking about insurance. The government at the time signing on to the catastrophic insurance or catastrophe insurance, which wasn't making much sense. Why was the government signed up for such a foolish policy? Dervan, I'm driving my car and getting into an accident is like the insurance company saying that they're not going to be paying me because the car was not written off. It seems Jamaica has found itself in the same position when it comes to the catastrophe insurance paying out funding. I don't know what kind of silly arrangement the government enter into if Jamaica does not wipe out completely. You cannot get a payment. Salah from Kingston. Cuban in Georgia has quite a bit to say as usual. Our members of parliament should give back 50% of close to 300% increase they took for themselves to help poor people. Sir Malcolm, what about those who lost everything in St. Elizabeth, Clarendon, Manchester, and Westmoreland? Those who lost their beds and fridges, stoves, and televisions. How those citizens can get help? Sir Malcolm, they how come they all right, sorry, just a moment, please. One moment, please, as we continue. Right, so this person is saying, Sir Malcolm, how come the multi-billionaire Chinese don't pay taxes in Jamaica? Well, I can't speak to that. I'm not aware of that. Sir Malcolm, how come taxpayers spend so much money on road infrastructure, but yet still the roads on which the local citizens travel on a daily basis are in such a deplorable condition? We must investigate those who are charged to maintain the roads, be brought before a judge to answer questions from the taxpayers. These people are, I think the word you meant was raping the resources of Jamaica and sending all the money back to their countries. Meanwhile, the Jamaican public can't have access to good education and roads. I don't know, for some strange, well, anyway, let's let's just pause for a moment, please. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. And let's see now, we have Voice of New York calling through. I would imagine in response to to what was said a short while ago. Thanks for your patience. Go ahead, please.
I think I heard a little bit on your email that you were reading. Uh, First of all, I do have a lot of experience when it comes to insurance. I study accounting in school, study capabilities, understand how insurance policy is written. You're not going to get a policy that is 100% towards your likings. It is impossible. When you hear of insurance policy, it's based on a couple of things: probabilities, how much money you're willing to spend. Again, I didn't comment on this policy because I don't see the numbers. I'll just explain to you that no one is going to write a policy that favors you 100%, and again go against the bottom line. It's just not going to happen. The same thing when people talk about hedging. You should hedge your either $40. Uh, Kind of the same thing. I mean, you could do you could get into an option, buy an option, but it's for a certain period of time and for a certain amount of money and a certain price. Okay, so you're not gonna get a option that is for 5 years at $40 a bar. No one is gonna give you that no one in the world is gonna get that. Okay, it doesn't happen. So these things are written very carefully so that the people who are issuing them don't get a huge loss. Again, I'm not commenting on this policy because I haven't seen it. I'm just explaining to people that you're not going to get a policy that favors you. Simple, 100%. That's the way insurance works. Car insurance, same thing. Your home insurance is the same thing. All insurance basically is the same thing. Okay. All right. So that's what I was just explaining. I just want to cover one or two more things as far as yesterday I was talking.
Oh, hold on. We're past the break. Hold a moment, please.
Okay.
Help us protect Jamaica's borders. Tell us about any illegal guns coming through customs controlled areas. Call Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
3:31 on Power 106.
On your mark, set, get ready to go. It's time for the True Juice 5K, the one-of-a-kind experience taking you through the beautiful True Juice mountains in one walk. Sunday, July 21, 2024. Register now at TrueJuice.com. Entry fee only $2,500. Come run, walk, and have fun while raising funds for the Lincoln Hospital. Follow at True Juice on Instagram for more details.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and let's go back to Voice of New York and continue with the other messages and calls. Yes, please.
I want to apologize for the quality. I'm on the road a lot. I'm doing some shopping for my home in Jamaica, and I'm all over the place just trying to find things I can't get in Jamaica. So the things I can't find are some of the quality things. I'm trying to get some quality stuff. So I'm on the road a lot lately. So I apologize for the noise in my car. I'm just all over the place, just doing some shopping. So I apologize for the noise.
Understandable.
Again, I know a lot about concrete. Okay. My father was a builder. I studied. My brother is an architect. One of my passion. I don't have an engineering degree, but I know a lot about buildings. Okay. And I don't know what I said that didn't make no sense yesterday. I was just trying to advise the lady that Yes, when they pour these concrete, they need to pour one time. You can't be pour on one pot, sure, and for a couple hours or even 5 hours. It has to be done continuously. If I'm wrong, let the person tell me where I'm wrong. I think I told the lady that I was saying that I would put a metal roof on over the slab, and if probably one of the best fixing that you can go. So they come in that they're gonna blow off. Yes, if you do it wrong, it has to be bolted down. You have to bolt the plates down. You have to screw and strap the rafters down. If you're gonna do a roof over that, it just can't be you nail it down. You're gonna bolt it down into the concrete, what's there already. And the rafters have to be screwed and strapped. And I prefer the metal screw down and to the lots. Then and make sure you secure the edges. Then that metal roof won't go nowhere. I don't know. People making comments if you don't know, you don't know. Yeah, I mean, you're nailing the roof or whatever. Yeah, it's gonna go off. It has to be bolted down, and it has to be strapped down properly. And the prefer everything you're doing should be screwed. I don't know. I think people still doing nailing the roof. It should be screwed. I don't mind criticism, Dervan, but if you're gonna criticize me, tell me what I'm saying wrong on what the correct thing is, so I can learn.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come and criticize me and you're not saying what is correct and what I say wrong, then it's to me you just want to criticize me for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, there's a saying that says, "Fear of criticism is the kiss of death in the courtship of achievement."
As I said again, I don't mind to be criticized. I will learn. But tell me what I said wrong and tell me the right thing, or where I'm wrong. And then I will yield to what you're saying. No problem.
Mm.
Okay.
We hear you loud and clear.
I just want to tell you again. The roof cannot be nailed down. It has to be. If I'm gonna put a metal roof, I have to see the roof first. Design something that fit. But the plates has to be bolted down into the concrete. Okay, not nailed or anything like that. Bolted.
Mm. Yeah, that is a fact.
Yeah. All right, Dervan. Take care, man. Nice talking to you.
You too. Same here. Bye-bye.
Yeah, cool.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good afternoon. Am I speaking to Dervan Malcolm?
Yes, you are.
Okay, anyhow, I would like to ask you a question, Dervan. On the day of the
Sorry, we want to make sure we're hearing you. Can we get a little more volume on the call?
Sure. Okay, are you hearing me better now?
A little.
Okay. On the day of the hurricane, I called and requested a change of music. I've lived in the United States for over 45 years, right? And the music that you play, those are the type of music that we listen to here. And they drive me crazy. The program is excellent, but the music in the background, it's not Jamaican music. And it's the Jamaican program.
Yeah, it's a global global program. I responded to your request some weeks ago. Yeah. So we make adjustments here and there as we go on. So it's not
But remember, it starts out Jamaican dance, right?
Jamaica.
Yes, Jamaica dance.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't say America, It starts out clearly Jamaica, So we should put more input, Jamaican music, into the background of the program. I love the program. It's excellent. It's just the music that drives me crazy.
Yeah. All right, we'll see what we can do again for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And as far as the insurance money for the hurricane,
reminds me of the hush money that went on in the United States. Insurance can be purchased properly. That insurance was not purchased properly. It was purchased to, I would say as a scam, because people know that what they're hoping for is not going to happen, and it's just a scam.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that Ross and Hyman, the financial wizard or the financial guru, I can't understand how come you allow something like this slip in the crack like that. He's supposed to be studying about all of Jamaica's wealth here. Where Jamaica money is going. What are they doing with it? And he just let this slip through the crack like that. I appreciate everything that he said, in the past and what they've been doing. But I can't understand how come he let this one slip through the crack like that. So he needs to shape up on what he's doing, as far as watching Jamaica money. But I live in America, right? And I pay insurance in the United States. And sometimes I even get more than I ask for. What Voice of New York was saying a while ago, about, insurance never pay out what it's supposed to. That is bullcrap. Insurance company is supposed to protect you 100% or more. Once you pay for it, you're supposed to protect you 100% or more. If they can't protect you, they're supposed to shut the business down like they did in Florida and run away and let somebody else take over. And they have done that in Florida. They realized that they couldn't handle the hurricane situation in Florida, and they shut their business down and took off out of Florida, and somebody else came and took it over. I'm not going to mention no name, but I'm telling you, that's the way the insurance company are supposed to do. They're not supposed to leave you high and dry. They're supposed to cover you 100% or even more. So that's my experience with insurance, warranty, and all of those things. I've been very pleased when I pay my insurance. So when talking about insurance doesn't cover you 100%, I don't see that. When I say I don't see that, I don't see that. I live in this country 4 or 5 years. I don't know how long you've been here.
So here's a message that is pertinent to the matter you have raised. This listener, Cuban in Georgia, says these contractors are ripping off the taxpayers and milking the public purse, and construction faulty roads that every shower of rain, the roads are damaged and causing millions of dollars out of taxpayers' pockets.
And I agree with that one.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, Dervan, Boston, he's the guru of Jamaica. I listen to his program on the business, thing and things like that. He does a very good job. But I cannot understand how he let this, situation slip through the crack like that. He's supposed to be studying every single thing about Jamaica, where the money is flowing, what are they doing with the money, right? And he let this one slip through the crack. I'm not blaming the person who purchased the insurance, right? Because it's their job to scam the people, right? But it's his job. It's his job to make sure that the money is spent properly. So I'm really blaming Rasta. Yeah, the cool, the Rasta habit. I listen to him every morning, and he does a very good job. But I can't understand how can he let this get to back. But we have the same problem here in Florida with the hurricane, Dervan, right? We get hit a lot, right? And the insurance company, they take off, and other company comes in, and they protect us properly. They pay us properly, and they take care of us properly. When they realize that they can't handle us, they take off, and a new company come in. That's the way the system works. The way it's supposed to work is if you don't experience hurricane if you're an insurance company and you don't experience hurricane wherever you are at, right? What you should do and what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to take that insurance money and put it where the hurricanes are, right? Because you're not spending the money, you know? The money is, you're just constantly collecting money. So, if you're constantly collecting money and there's no disaster, you're supposed to go and insure people who are having disaster. That's the way insurance is supposed to work. And you're supposed to pay them 100% or even more.
All right. Here's another. Sorry, another follow-up message. Please inform Voice of New York that all the details of this policy are available in the World Bank on the World Bank website. He needs to Google before he engages in this kind of conversation. And it goes on. Since Voice of New York spend about 2 to 3 hours per day on Jamaican radio calling shows, suggest to him that he should invest in etc. noise reduction headphones. They only cost about 50 or 60 bucks, 50 or 60 US dollars. It will allow us to understand what he's saying and avoid the loud background noises which always accompany his calls. It's a part of being polite. Uh, I like right, and the message goes on to say, I like his calls, but not when I cannot hear his word. So
he has to be more polite with the system. He's being very rude. As you notice, my background is crystal clear from noise and everything like that. I would never disrespect a public like that. But again, he needs to check on things that he's saying before he comes over the air because the things that he's saying. I live in this country. I know how this country runs, and believe me, no insurance company here is gonna insure people in Jamaica because we're having problems here with hurricanes. You know what I'm saying? But there are problems in other states that doesn't have this problem, right? They are supposed to insure people that have the problem. That's the way insurance works. The money is supposed to go wherever it's needed. If it's not being spent there, the disaster is supposed to insure people where there is disaster. So this insurance thing here, that that's a big scam. And Ross, the time I need to investigate this one is really, really big because what they have done to Jamaica is wrong. I heard the guy came up and was trying to manipulate his way of how the insurance system works. I don't agree with that. When you're selling the person a policy, you're supposed to say this is for insurance, and anything happens to you, we're gonna cover you, and that's it. Not when something happens, you try to manipulate the system so that you won't pay, unless somebody gets some hush money. I'm gonna leave that alone. Take care, Dervan. Bye-bye now.
thank you. You too. All the best. Bye bye. And another follow up saying, Voice of New York, you're wrong. Matalan does not build houses that way. Concrete slab roofing will crack up after a while. And when this happens, the roof will leak. The lady who was talking said that she was living in Portmore. Voice needs to do some homework before he speaks. Salah from Kingston. And Franklin McDonald says, I'm enjoying your program this afternoon. I normally only listen to the whole program on Mondays when you have my former colleague, Mrs. Gloria. All right, now we know Mr. McDonald. Thank you. And keep those messages coming in. 876-922-4112-5. JM Master Songwriter, I am Miss B, says, greetings, Mr. Malcolm. To you too. And Cherry Henry is greeting us as well. Welcome, Cherry Henry. Renee Beckley, where is she now? She is in Pontiac, Michigan, I think. She says, Renee Beckley says, of yours truly, he plays Jamaican music or turn on all Jamaican music stations. and well, maybe just perhaps doesn't listen often enough to hear some of those, but so it is. Inez Iona Campbell says, pleasant Wednesday afternoon, Mr. Dervan viewers and listeners. A super hot day it is, she says. Indeed it is. And Norman Hines in St. Thomas is on board as well. Welcome, Norman Hines. Good to have you on board. And Sherry Henry, thank you for the greeting. Mike and Hubert Fowlin says, you're listening to Mr. Dervan Malcolm, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, and their listening audiences. Thank you, Hubert Fowlin. And Velta Wilson is on as usual. A call here from Bunty. It's a message. It says here, good evening, Mr. Malcolm. Well, good afternoon. We still have a few hours left before we go evening, so to speak. Anyway, the message is, good evening, Mr. Malcolm. Please ask that man how he is, or is it, let's see if we can figure out what he's saying here. Oh, must not be crisis everybody citywide, but he must give the program a break. Make people whoever live here can get the chance to call us in Jamaica is an excellent builder if it only means time to do the job. Dervan, I tell you that you give these people too much time to make foolish talk, jagguide, love people, and if you can help, less chat, says Bunty. Bunty, we're going to charge you for translation, you know. Thank you very much for your message. And Franklin McDonald says, my final comment, perhaps for this afternoon, I understand from colleagues in Barbados who are also interested in the debate over the Catholic insurance in Jamaica, is that their Prime Minister Mia made a statement about the catastrophe insurance last week, which was critical. Could you get that statement on broadcast if possible? I haven't seen it. I'm sorry, I haven't come across it. But we'll see if we can pull it up or bring it up. I'm surprised you don't have that one, Mr. McDonald. If and when you do, please share. Cuban in Georgia says, I agree with the caller. This insurance scheme is a scam on the taxpayer. Sir Malcolm, the road users pay for excise tax. The taxes collected for excise taxes, do those go to road maintenance, or it goes to debt servicing? It should be able to give you that information. Let's continue with more on your program, both sides of the story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Taking your calls, 876-922-4112-5. Franklin McDonald says, Dervan, I am in the middle of a class and I need to focus on the class. I think you know how to Google Barbados catastrophe insurance. And Motley, you need to do more Googling yourself during the program. Smiling face, winking. Okay, Mr. McDonald, we hear you loud and clear. Thank you for your messages as we continue with more on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, and getting some more information out there. The numbers to call, remember, 876 922 4112 to 5. 876 922 4112 to 5. And the text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876 365 3346. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
How are you, sir?
I am giving thanks for life. And you?
Same way, thanks for that.
Mm-hmm.
I have a problem with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every week for the past 2 years, I activate a 7-day service,
Mm-hmm.
in which I got 425 megabytes, 150 minutes to call any network within the 7 days. If you use up this data before the 7 days, so be it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last week, Monday, the 1st of July, I activated a 7-day plan
Mm-hmm.
with 425 megabytes and 150 minutes. Monday, Tuesday, no problem. Thursday night came Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
My light went away same Wednesday. But that is not the problem because data now, whether the light go on or not, as long as you have current battery, substance battery coming, so you can get the call.
Yes.
Thursday, when I decided to check and call my daughter over, I cannot get any.
You're not getting through when you try calling. Mm-hmm.
When I dial star 120 number sign, so tell me how much credit they have, how much minute they have, but the data section now not available, and they will restore it as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting, even Thursday. But Friday now, we decided, all right, let me tell me activate another 7 days plan. What will happen? When I activate the 7 day plan, my minute get me have about 400 minutes. Because it's roll over now.
Mm-hmm.
Before you use up the minutes, I don't activate within certain time. It's roll over. The data still cannot see how much data I have in that computer. And I could not make out a call, a WhatsApp call. Same thing happened to my wife. Because I got over that or what.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing I'm doing. She cannot make out a WhatsApp call. So they know. I went up to halfway through and I explained to them. They went up and they 50 man said, we use up all of the data.
Oh no.
Just use up all the data. So we use up all of the data. We use up, I still cannot see how much data on my phone, but on the 60, the two plan we activate, the 1st of July and the 5th of July, which is 425 plus 425, it's 850. And the 16, it has for me 833. Because what happened to the 17 megabytes? It has for that. And one element, Mr. Malcolm, it was not.
What was his response to it? What was the person's response?
You cannot tell me what happened to that 17 megabytes. They only charge for me 833. That I 850 the 2,000 megabytes for me. And they are saying from the 1st of July to the 31st of July. But up to today, the 10th of July, it can only tell me use of 833. I went again and played another 7 years. Come one more in October.
Mm-hmm.
And it cannot show me that I put they show me and the 60 and my phone cannot show me how much megabytes. Here it's the reception is not tell me now. 425 megabytes. It's too much amount. But I don't care about that. Me know enough guys, Mr. Malcolm, to be honest, I only use the data and use from my house to town come back. Because I have Wi-Fi from my house.
I know what that is like because I usually operate like that myself. But it's funny you should put it that way, and to raise the matter this way, because I was listening to, I believe it was Elon Parkinson of Digicel. Yeah, and it sounded, he did say that. He said something about uh, something along the lines of of uh, of putting together some kind of a package. I don't want to misquote him, but uh, mm,
One, one is $950, and one is $570. And the $570. I do not, I don't have Wi-Fi on my home. So
mm-hmm.
you don't have with me on the road. But my people don't want the data.
Yes.
And if I put me down, Mr. Malcolm, like me, I want to get come and me know what we're doing and where are the over 2.5 years, me I use the same day plan. If my wife now use it because she have a 16 and 60, even if she has a road, everybody will wait till she reach work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, support flow, and I spend $570 every week. But me I tell you, Mr. Malcolm, when we work out for the year is $41,000 me pay for data. But me now put on data enough because me have Wi-Fi on my house.
Mm-hmm.
And as I put it, I would not activate my plan again. So they will lose 40,000 from me. And then I'm going to get 40,000 a year. Come on, we never use the data for the road.
Just a moment, please. We need to wrap. One moment, please.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
The Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:50 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app. Horizon in the distance, so close, and yet so far away.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Thank you for holding. So you have a situation. What's the latest now? What's the most recent feedback you've received from the phone company?
Well, Mr. Malcolm, I spoke to two representatives from that supervisor, right? And they are saying that they use of the data. They say, oh, use of the data, I couldn't make out a car. They must say, the house, they may have on the phone, I use them. They Malcolm, over 2.5 years, they are using data, you know. And every week it's roll over. I mean, I use it the 425 most of the time. When I use the 425 megabytes, I tell them, you have Wi-Fi on your house.
Mm-hmm.
And anywhere we go, I'm a friend of mine, we can't get any Wi-Fi. Right? And the more tell me, the 425 and chicken sometimes, we should buy the 90. They say, me want to buy 90 to buy that. My wife likes to use data on the road. Because it's something still like that. When you come home, you make all of the cars you want. But me, I tell them, Mr. Malcolm, every week, for you to get the 570 credit, you have to pay the day plan. It costs about $600. We normally buy $800 and we get $640 credit. And we use the 570 right? Every week, and it roll over. Right now, we have 200 minutes. But the station can't roll over because they use up that. We couldn't make out a call for Thursday. You know, that Saturday, I went to one of my friends at 20 pounds who have Wi-Fi and get some service to charge your data overseas. And you might tell me now, tell you have to make you do stuff. And
And it cannot show me. Me tell star 120 now it says the data not available and them to retrieve the story. Now I don't know what data me have on my phone that I can't see. And them treat me some way like me say me held them some man from them some effect, you know. Me want to hold my feet, you know, like a church man. They hold my feet. Because they make me look like them have food, me don't know what they're talking about. Every week my data roll over. I mean I use passport 25 a week.
Yes.
But me just use it on the road in case of anybody want to call me while me on the road.
Yeah, they want to employ the principle
But I
of.
tell them, Mr. Malcolm, serious ahead with my name. We spend $800 a week. I will multiply that by 52. And 40,000, that's not. That's a whole little enough because I get better. So why not use it? And me alone use data for road. And just I tell me I want to use no buy no data. Because when we come home, we can't use no Wi-Fi. You understand? Because I'm present and you know that when I have two networks with the Wi-Fi, I know that they say never transfer on data from through it. I mean, we not going to reach 5,800 a month. So that's the more loser. Because I pay 5,000 a month for my Wi-Fi, 5,000. And if you take out 2,580, 5,800 a month. So the more loser, when we have to give them 5,800 a month. And because how them treat me and tell me like we use up my data and we reallocate me. They more loser. So 12 times 5,000, almost 70,000 plus 140,000, almost 100,000 in a plan to spend with 2 for the year, you know. Me gone from floor. They'll still use their number, put them $100 credit, and use my Wi-Fi on my own.
Okay.
Every time I'm going to use the people treat me today.
That's not good.
1,000, 1,800, 600 spend last week. Plus how I spend 800 because 2,000 we don't get no service for it. Because you couldn't make no calls.
Yeah, and perhaps needed to demonstrate just a little more compassion from the standpoint of all that as a people we have been through and are still going through. You want to be a little more compassionate and
right? And we have plans that we could have shame over. You will tell us something, let me know no sense. Me use it up. Me not make out a WhatsApp call, but me use it up. I had a half day use it. Never hear anything like that. Every week, me roll over. Every same day, me roll over. Because I just want to have a data for the road. But me I tell them, they must believe well as well. We can't pay me 40,000 a year in my pocket. Me 60,000. But me now plan to take out them Wi-Fi, what you call it, internet. We're not doing it. No,
wow.
It's a big that I tell them we just hold my feet. Just hold my feet. God, because I tell my $800 we spend a week time. Them can't take it as anything. You know, can them say they have to use it up. Put me to WhatsApp, don't use it up. Can we could make a call? And I mean, we want to make a call.
Well, we're really sorry to hear about your situation. It's yeah, just needed a little more compassion and empathy. Yeah, ideally you want to learn from each other and know what each. Yes. Mm.
I go to Monday and say, "Wait a minute, we should not stop 425 and along 4 and theater. Make them not be.
No, that's like an insult. That's like an insult. Mm. Mm.
The plan with 5, 6, it was 5. Some other them put down some money. Everything he just continue go.
Mhm.
Because he may go. Come on, you see them and go.
Mm.
The reason why sometimes people get irritated with them, you're not customer. Because some people just think that anything them change your laugh. And them polish that.
Mm.
Yeah? And them polish that. Yeah?
Mm.
You look on the record and check the record. 2 times you have to pay the plan last week. I'm going to get up to, I'm going to get 80% right.
What you want to do is just examine. It sounds like you have two. It's two suppliers or one. It's one telecoms company or two.
You have 2. You have 2.
No, and in terms of are you do you have have you signed up with both entities or just one?
All right. I get my Wi-Fi from private first.
Okay.
Internet.
Mm.
Then I carry both internet, right?
Mm.
We don't have a problem with that, right? But through our ability to say, well, it's right. Through me activate that phone at 70, which is the lowest one.
Mm.
And I tell them not use phone and 25 megabytes a week. You know. Now we have a Wi-Fi
Mm.
only on the road. I'm not on the road. The road 16 hours a day. Because the other man can go to Paris. Okay? Come on, you say the man. You say, go me and tell you the man. Because you that we can't see the party for 3 years. Simple.
So where has it left you now? Where has the situation? Mm.
Because they won't tell you the man. We use it. I mean, we might use it, but I don't use it.
Yeah, I've heard somebody having that experience before in the past where. Mm. You use it sparingly. Is that it? You use it sparingly. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah.
You know, I know that a lot of people are complaining about the service from Thursday. That you from Wednesday, you know, when I feel like food, they have it. So me have me take a junk call. You know what you?
Mm.
You know what call people in the car and I try calling that time. We can't get food.
Mm.
Not going to.
And you don't have a backup, so to speak. Okay.
Saturday and Monday. I used today to get back Wi-Fi from my company, right?
Mm.
But you couldn't get through none of that.
Oh.
Because everybody who went to one of my friends at 20 past.
Mm.
Saturday, I'm use our WhatsApp or Wi-Fi about an hour
Mm.
and pay for zero.
Okay.
On Friday, my wife put down $800 the same day. She couldn't use nothing to make one call.
Why? The system wouldn't allow it? Mm. Mm. Yeah.
And I'm there.
Yeah. they perhaps need to be a little more customer friendly.
I receive my money. So I'm afraid them because you can't call it from WhatsApp or the Wi-Fi at all. But I want to put it. I can't lock me over the one.
Mm. Yeah, well,
They might go next one and every video just lock them off.
yeah, well, go ahead and see if you can create a particular mix of options that work in your benefit.
Mr. Malcolm,
Mm.
I know to just pay attention to my internet for the from my German card.
Okay.
I'll
All right.
forget about the road business. I'll
Mm.
forget about the road business. I'll just wait for my use them.
Yeah.
Better off.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for the call, the circumstances notwithstanding.
Well, let's see someone on the phone.
All right. All right. Thank you. Take care. All the best. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112 The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. More in a moment.
Listen to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15. Power 106 FM, the digital sound, and now reaching you in more ways. Listen to us on 106.1 to 106.9 on the FM band. You can also listen to us on the Power 106 FM app, which you can download on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can tune in on your mobile phones by dialing 631-359-8281 if you're in the US. And if you're in the UK, you can dial 0330-606-0953. Plus, listen to us on onespotmedia.com and the One Spot Media app, or log on to go-jamaica.com. Power 106 FM, where all views can contend, giving you powerful talk radio in so many ways, on air and online.
whatever seems to be your destination. Take life the way it comes. Take life the way it is.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Here's Herbert Bogle saying, Mr. Malcolm, good afternoon. Why these callers have to stay so long on the phone to make the same point? We all get it in 2 minutes, says Herbert Bogle. Well, Herbert, it's one of those things. It's a, it's a. People like to think that there is a sense of humanity in them and in those they interact with. And if the, when people feel hurt, really feel hurt, they they want to air that hurt. And I know there are others waiting in line and wanting to come on to express themselves. But at the same time, we try to be a little to try to be as empathic as we can in order to assist the listener or the participant in receiving someone who is in that state of being upset. And you know how it is. All of us has some trait of being upset. Something happens and we're hurting and we have to find a way to sound off or otherwise. So it's just to recognize that it is real. It is a real thing, a real experience. And to be able speak with one or two of the individuals for a little time, that would help them to regain a level of composure and respect, etc. But it's not because we want to have someone on the line forever. It's just an understanding of the human condition. But thank you very much for your patience and understanding. And we'll continue to take the calls on 876-922-4112 and the text and WhatsApp messages 876-365-3346. So here we go again. This one says, I am seeing if my barb and call you. It's a typo here. Call you. Can you send me the link? If I get it, I will send it, even though I am in a class. I'm not sure what that is about right now. Can't touch that right now because we're live. And Horace, otherwise known as Spider, says, Mr. Malcolm, sometimes it's better for some of these people to step aside and let people who understand do the talking. Enough is enough. Why the expert can't be the mouthpiece like the master builders? I wonder if Abbas, the Prime Minister, Abbas on a corner and hear people talk about hurricane strap. But hurricane strap is not the only critical thing on a roof to hold it down. You have to make the steel come up by boring the rafter and bending it over the rafter. You don't use zinc nail to hold down the zinc on a roof. You use the zinc screw to hold down a zinc, and over time, the zinc nail will release, and the least little thing blows off the roof. Hardware and lumber sells them cheap, so whosoever writes the script and gives the prime minister, they need to educate him on the proper method to prevent the negative effects during a hurricane. People who don't understand the proper way to hold down a roof would hear the prime minister and believe him, but those who know the correct way will look at him and say, him don't know what him a talk about. Most of what I see in St. Elizabeth, hurricane strap couldn't hold that down, says Horace, otherwise known as Spider. Neville, otherwise known as Salah, says, no, I don't have a problem with Voice of New York calling every day. The problem is that he is a builder for everything, jack of all trades and master of none. That's Voice. Don't want him to stop calling. He spending his overseas money. Dervan, I hope that your program benefits from his call. And here's another thread of message. I don't use data. Anyone wants to talk to me, call me straight. I'm paying thousands for Wi-Fi per month already. So I'm not going to be putting on any data. I don't know what Portmore is really saying. If he has Wi-Fi at home, why is he, what was Portmore on? I don't think so. Why is he going to Duhaney Park to call his daughter, Neville, otherwise known as Salah. Here's another message, this one from GBO. Hi, Dervan. I heard Omalo earlier indicating that he would vote for Mark Golding if he comes up with a plan to rid the country of corruption. I had to laugh. It is my firm belief that Mark Golding will never come to Jamaica and make good on his promises to root out corruption if he were to get the chance to be Prime Minister. The rhetoric coming from Omalo regarding this matter is unfortunately devoid of substance and appears to be merely hot air. We have seen time and time again that politicians across all parties make bold claims about combating corruption only to fall short once they are in power. Mark Golding and his Taponaris may talk about ridding the country of corruption, but history has shown us that these promises often remain just that, promises. They fail to provide a transparent and comprehensive plan detailing how they intend to tackle corruption if they were to come into power. It is essential not to be swayed by empty words aimed at winning favor with the public. I urge Omalo not to be misled by political tactics that lack substance. It is crucial to hold our politicians accountable and demand concrete strategies and action plans when it comes to addressing corruption in our country. Let us not allow ourselves to be fooled by empty promises. Stay informed and vigilant, Omalo. Do not let politicians deceive you with their words. If you don't believe a good example is if you don't believe a good example is there's an MP in Parliament who was uh, another member of the Mm-hmm. All right, GBO. Thank you for your message. This one says this is from Cuban and Georgia. Where to start? Let's go up the line here. It's a lot of messages. All right, where do we start? Let's go with this one. When the roads are damaged by rain, it costs the motorists heavily out of pocket to repair the vehicles, and it costs the taxpayers more in revenue by delaying the citizens in getting to work on time to be productive and contributing to the GDP. So children can have a hot meal at school, so everyone will be able to get to school on time and be progressive students in their respective careers. Sir Malcolm, how now that a natural disaster has struck Jamaica, is the government going to sit there wondering what to do? Sir Malcolm, we must go into the NIR money to invest it back into the country to take the island out of darkness. Jamaica is a company, as what your good friend Tony Lang used to say, and the public is the manager of the company called Jamaica. We must invest the money from the national reserves. Either we invest it in solar panels, powered batteries, so when the JPS is down, we have a backup generator, solar panels collecting electricity from the sun, and a database to store solar energy for electricity generation. Sir Malcolm, how much money we, the taxpayers, have in the NIR bank? Yes, we'll have to check that out. And this one says, you mentioned that Flow stated they would replenish the data or credit that was not used. No, I said no such thing. I made a reference to an on air discussion with Elon Parkinson and a representative from Flow, because he was jokingly, seriously jokingly, put it that way, uh, about possible goodies to come, because to make up for the downtime, that kind of thing, just being generous. So that's what reference was drawn to. So this person now decides to write, you mentioned that Flow stated, I didn't mention any such thing, they would replenish data or credit that was not used during the outage. Did they specify a timeline for when this replenishment would take place? No, they didn't. All right. Um, Someone is trying to reach us desperately. I'm not sure why. But let's take the break and come back.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
Tune in to Power 106 FM for the longest running religious calling program on Jamaican radio, The Prayer Line. Join Pastor Errol Hay and his team as they offer spiritual guidance and intercession grounded in biblical doctrine. Hear powerful testimonies from Jamaica and around the world. The Prayer Line, a source of support and inspiration in these trying times. That's the Prayer Line on Power 106 FM, Sundays at 6:30 p.m. Join us.
And yet so far away, you shouldn't be surprised when on arrival the dream has flown away and things not here to stay. The road never gives our way, the promise. The road is a highway or a dead street, dead street. Raindrops on your windscreen. They fall from heaven.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Adia says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. I understand the gentleman's feelings with regard to his experience with Flow. I have experienced the same thing, and it is frustrating. Flow needs to be held accountable, says Adia, Adia. Thank you very much for your message. Circumstances notwithstanding, feel free to give us a little more via messages, since you're not calling in, you're messaging. Thank you for your participation here on Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Raskava, let's see what's happening here. He says, SOS, in need. Mosquito want for draw away in Denby and adjoining areas. calling the Southern Health Department. No answers. Can you get someone from the ministry to address the problem? Thank you, sir. So this is a call from Rascava in Clarendon about the mosquitoes that are about to draw him away and everybody else with him. Anyone over at Southern Regional Health Authority to be able to come to the rescue of not just Rascava, but everybody else who is feeling the pinch, as the expression goes. So if you know what is happening or not happening with respect to the southern region of the health department, please let us know so that we can spread the word, because we already have health issues to deal with, and we want to ensure that we are adding value to the program of disseminating information, useful information with respect to the mosquito and its impact and implications. Perhaps one of the most dangerous creatures in the world, the mosquito. So let's remember to check our home spaces for water that is breeding mosquitoes. We don't want to have that. Let's continue. 876-922-4112-5. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I heard somebody was talking about the internet and the phone and those things.
Yes.
But that is not really my point. But what I'm saying, in the 80s, when I was a teenager, whenever you used to have phone and those phone and WhatsApp and Facebook and those things, people used to live comfortable the same way. So it's all about the mind.
Man is a survivor, and man will always find a way.
That means it's all about the mind, because the 1981, 82, 83, we never used to have those things. But we enjoy ourselves, man. Okay?
Yes, yes.
Right now, people are stressing themselves, over those things. So it's all about the mind, man. Mind over matter. You understand?
If you don't mind, it doesn't matter.
Those things is just what? Illusion. It's just illusion. Those things are really, really necessary. And anyway, what I'm trying to say, you see, in 2022, the government, the GG, make a tone speech in the opening of the House of Parliament, right? And I don't see most of the things that he say the government will be doing. And that was 2 years now. And then come back in 2023 with the same tone speech, and then add some other things on it. And then come back in 2024 with the same thing again.
Well, when those things happen, we have to find a way to let our people know that we are not going to put up with certain shenanigans.
Yes, because in 2022, in the opening of the House of Parliament, the Governor General have a paper in front of him, talking and saying what the government will be doing. And one of the things that I heard him say, the old Scotiabank building on King Street?
Yes?
Yes. That building locked down, right? And I heard him say the government will be turning that building into a tax office.
Oh, really?
Yes, and that was 2022. And I passed the building this morning, and the building is an eyesore, man, on King Street, man. The glass they mash up, and the place was dirty, and it looked very horrible, man, on King Street.
Yeah, and we know you don't like that kind of thing at all.
And 2022, the Chuan speech says that building will be turned into a tax office, a government tax office. And the next thing I heard him say in 2022 in the Chuan speech is that he's going to build a park down at the waterfront. They're going to build a park down the waterfront. I don't know what kind of park. I don't know if it's a scenery park or
So that means you have to hold the applause for now.
yeah?
That means you're gonna have to hold the applause for now.
Yeah, but that was 2022 and I don't think nothing taking place.
Mm.
Why those people don't stop going to the House of Parliament when I make those big short speech and nothing is going on. Several things I heard him say he's going to do. I said several things I heard him say the government promised to do. And none of those things take place. I don't even see nothing going on. I don't understand this country.
You have to act accordingly now. Having heard what you have heard, having seen what you have seen, having expressed what you have expressed, then you will now consciously take whatever action you think is necessary to demonstrate how you feel about that kind of behavior. Mm.
I have some weird people running this country, man. I don't understand them. They keep on talking things and they're not going to do it. They're not doing it. They just a chat because they have a mouth to talk. And just come on the public television and show off. And nothing taking place. You understand what I mean?
Yes, man, I'm with you. Mm.
Yeah. Well, it's rough.
Mm.
Anyway, that's all I want to tell you.
All right, thank you for the call.
They need to stop telling lie. They need to stop telling lie when the true speech reading. Stop telling lie when them I read the true speech.
Yeah.
Instead of opening of the House of Parliament. Stop telling lie.
Remember, you have to know the truth.
Yes.
In order to tell a lie.
Yes. Okay then.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the call. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-411-225. And this one says, I'm not Portmore. I went to Duhaney Park on Saturday the 6th to use my friend's Wi-Fi because I had no electricity at my house. I received electricity Saturday about 10:30 p.m. and internet service on Tuesday the 9th. All right, thank you for the additional information. Cuban in Georgia says, Sir Malcolm, the Governor General should give back 50% of his pay to go towards humanitarian assistance and hurricane relief. This one says, Sir Malcolm, the gullies have been neglected by the government for years. When was the last time the government fixed the gully infrastructure or any assessment on all the gullies and drainage systems of the entire island? Norman Wright says, Hi, Dervan. The new highway has created stagnant water ponds in the area of the Maypen exit, breeding ground, pond for mosquitoes. Gonna have to help us to keep that one out in the public sphere. Who am I talking now? This is Raskaba. That's for you, Raskaba. You're gonna need your help in that regard. Asha Ash says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Dervan. Just tuning in from London, England. Welcome, Asha Ash." And let's see. This one coming through on our text line, same as the WhatsApp number. Hello, good afternoon. Yes?
Dervan,
Hi.
good afternoon. What I notice, there is some Texans who seems like they are running your program, Them don't find time to call in, them stay behind them finger and text, and them try to tell who to take time out, and who say things where them want to hear. But is one thing I know, the
Hold on, keep us in suspense for a little. Hold a moment, we need to take a break. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45. Are you looking for a powerful platform to promote your business in North America or the UK? Look no further than The Cleaner. Reach the diaspora and ignite brand awareness through our geo-targeted publications. Call 876-922-3400 or your Cleaner representative to explore the available options and book your ads, or email us at advertising@cleanerjm.com. Actualize your brand's potential today with The Cleaner. We're live on phones.
Tune in every Thursday at 3:30 p.m. for Your Legal Corner with Dana Walker Huntington, during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm on Power 106 FM. It's your source of information regarding U.S. immigration matters. Come by with Power 106 FM's pioneer of diaspora broadcasting. Call in with your U.S. immigration queries and concerns on 876-924-1125, or send a text or WhatsApp message 876-279-8598 and get the answers you need for your U.S. immigration questions. That's Your Legal Corner with Dana Walker Huntington, Thursdays at 3:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm, only on Power 106 FM.
Thanks for holding. Please continue.
Yes, Dervan. One thing I know, every human being have to leave what we call a footprint on this earth. And if you be an individual who allow someone to speak for you, you will not leave your footprint. And if you is an individual who make speeches in public, you must be someone who accept criticism, and that is what I do. And what enough people don't understand, the governor general is what we call the real brogad. You ever hear that term, that colloquial term, Dervan?
Yes, I've heard it. I've heard it.
And you're not going to repeat who that is referred to.
Well, there those who know.
Well, Dervan, the real brogad is the GG. The real brogad is the GG. Any other brogad a false. The real bro God is the GG. But we have found out recently that our GG is acting like he's a yard boy. That is how our GG is acting. He's acting like a little send out boy. Like you know, like when you have a yard and you say, wash my car and go clean up the dog mess. It is so this man act like, because as that person was saying that the throne speeches supposed to be something, you know, that the GG should examine and ask the government, is these things that you are putting forward, is there the fund to do it? Is there allocation of the funds to put through all of these things? Because I am a person, and I am the type person, and the people is looking for truth from my office, because I am acting on behalf of King Charles, not on behalf of the Prime Minister, although the Prime Minister with the okay of the opposition can say, yes, we can use this man as GG, but after that person become the GG, he automatically become the guardian of our society. So in closing, we are now shrouded in something like a secrecy between government and Governor General. So Dervan, I'll just close on saying that we are shrouded between secrets between the government and a Governor General. Have a nice day, sir.
We hear you. Thank you for the call. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, and still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. And let's go to this message from Cuban in Georgia. Sir Malcolm, the Governor General does not work for the taxpayers of Jamaica. The Governor General works for the monarch, the king. His boss doesn't own the lands. Sir Malcolm, do we owe the monarch money? I don't know. If I hear anything, I'll let you know. This one says, hi, Dervan. Please wish Jancy, I beg your pardon. Please wish Janoy McRae happy birthday. We are happy you lived to see another successful year. We are looking forward to calling you Dr. Mac in the near future. Greetings are coming from your mom, dad, siblings, and aunts. Love you. Okay, hope he got the message. Veril of Alberta, Calgary in Canada says, Mr. Malcolm, still no power in the areas of Charlie and surrounding areas in Manchester. There's a Charlie, Charleigh, in Manchester, or was that supposed to be Chudley? I'm just thinking out loud because I've never heard of this one. Charlie and surrounding areas in Manchester, Charleigh. There's anyone listening who knows of that place name for Manchester, please share it. Charleigh. Let's see if that actually exists. This one says, good evening, Mr. Malcolm. I think that guy is disrespecting the GG, and I don't think it's right. Well, he's fundamentally disrespecting himself. And you people know, what is sad is that even when people know what the protocol is, what the general bar is in terms of standard, and no matter how you talk to some people, they get a kick out of that kind of response. And they think they have proven a point, not recognizing that you are really telling us who you are. That's really what it boils down to. Nothing is wrong with demonstrating who you are, but if we hold you in another, realm in terms of who you are by virtue of how you comport yourself, then that will tell us what's happening. So bear that in mind. Bear that in mind. And this is the thing, Bob Marley. Well, let me not start that right now because we have to wrap shortly. But we have to be mindful of that. How we relate to others. And recognize that there are lessons in that engagement. There are lessons to learn. Nothing is wrong with speaking your truth and speaking it clearly. Nothing wrong with that. But when we start to add everything else, including the kitchen sink, now we know things have gone awry. AWRY. But life goes on, and we continue to give thanks. Just as I thought, they meant Chudley, Chudleigh. That's Chudley in Manchester. Veril is confirming. Thank you very much, Veril. I figured as much, but wanted to make sure. Thank you very much for clarifying that. It's Chudley in Manchester. And the message was that there was still no power in the areas of Chudley and surrounding areas in Manchester. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Wednesday, the 10th of July, 2024. Would like to say a big thank you to Celise Pinnock and Davin Thomas for doing technical and production duties behind the scenes. Thanks to you, our faithful listeners and viewers all over the globe, for making it both sides of the story. As we have said, all things being well, both sides of the story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
news, comprehensive, powerful, and credible. Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's news at 5.
Where did I build my keys, huh? Okay, it's right here.
Coming up in the news segment of Beyond the Headlines, today, Wednesday, July 10, 2024. Heightened debate on the political scene after the Integrity Commission disclosed that 2 more lawmakers are under investigation for illicit enrichment. Opposition leader Margaret Golding conducted the investigation to determine whether the 2 new parliamentarians being investigated are members of the PNP